Live at 5. This is SNN, the Suncoast News Network, your local news leader.
Hello everybody, I'm Don Brennan. Thanks for joining us here on the SNN Evening Edition.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Let's get right to our top story on this Good Friday.
All right, well, federal and local authorities continue to investigate the crash of the aircraft near Venice Municipal Airport and off the pier that claimed the lives of 4 people. One theory is the pilot may have been disoriented in the darkness over the Gulf after taking off after dinner. SNN's Alex Vaughn with more on this developing story.
I'm at the pier at Sharky's, and a plane just took off and crashed in the water.
What caused a Piper Saratoga to go into the Gulf of Mexico just northwest of the Venice fishing pier? Pilots and other experts are talking about spatial disorientation. It can occur when our brain and inner ear get confused when there are no visual cues referencing up from down, left from right. Anthony Brickhouse is an associate professor of aerospace and occupational safety at Embry-Riddle University in Daytona Beach. Tells SNN it can impact pilots over large bodies of water and in darkness. He adds the pilot may have been moving his head rapidly, causing additional disorientation.
So your body is telling you one thing, and the instruments in the aircraft are typically correct, and they're telling you something different. And it's really hard to go against your body and totally trust your instruments.
Brickhouse explains the cause of the crash will break down to the pilot, the machine, and or the environment.
We don't know. But the thing about accident investigation is when you're looking at the wreckage of an aircraft, that wreckage is going to paint a picture.
A witness called 911 and was at Sharky's Pier explains how he heard a loud sound like a backfire from the aircraft.
I saw it come over the top of the trees, and I'm guessing it's a little bit south of the pier, and then it was like going low, and I looked up and it was going down, and then I saw it hit the water.
Brickhouse says the NTSB will be looking into the airport to see if there were any contributions to the accident. His advice for any pilot is to always stay aware. Reporting in Sarasota, Alex Vaughn, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
And at this stage in the investigation, nothing is off the table for what could have happened. We'll continue to carry this story as we get more information.
2 vehicles spun out of control today, but luckily no one was hurt. Just after noon today, fire, EMS, and police responded to the 4900 block of North Tamiami Trail at the Oak Ridge Apartments. One car crashing into a pole, the other into the apartment building. Now, SPD is telling SNN no significant injuries or major damage, except, of course, to the vehicles.
And a crash in Sarasota late last night left one person seriously injured. It happened just after 10 o'clock in front of the Taco Bell in the old Sarasota High School building, right there at the confluence of 41 and 301. As a vehicle traveling south hit a pedestrian who was trying to cross the road or just happened to be in the driving lanes at the time. 41 southbound, actually both ways, southbound and northbound, were shut down for a while. Then northbound was opened up, but 41 southbound was shut down for several more hours and rerouted up and behind Sarasota High School, so they had to go out through School Avenue and then into Bay Vista as the investigators tried to piece together what exactly happened. And after several fatal gator attacks on the Suncoast in the past year, it's that time of year again where you're most likely to see a gator.
SNN's Brianna Boskert shares how you can stay safe.
The temperature starts to rise and you tend to see more alligators. They're a little bit more active. Their metabolism starts to get going a little bit more and they start to be looking for more prey items.
Although mating season doesn't start until May, alligators are beginning to claim their territory.
A large male would like to have his own piece of real estate and also have his own mates. And when that happens, he drives away other males. So when he drives them out of that area, the other males have to go somewhere. So that's when you find them like wandering around on the streets, in your yard, in your swimming pool.
Just last week, a 9-foot gator was spotted sauntering down a road in Tampa. And yesterday, a City of Sarasota employee caught a glimpse of a mama with her babies near Bobby Jones Golf Club. Although attacks on humans are rare, there are precautions you can take if you happen to cross paths with one.
Alligators are most active at sunrise and sunset, so avoid those times of day around water, and that's when they're actually going to do most of their hunting.
When you're walking your pet near any kind of body of water, make sure they're kept on a leash, keep them away from that shoreline. Alligators tend to be hidden right underneath that shoreline. You may not see them.
In case you don't see them, you may be able to hear them.
Baby alligators, they make a small grunting sound like a like that. If you hear stuff like that, don't get too close to it. You're going to be curious, of course. You could see he just got a little excited when I did that. But it's a distress call, and all alligators know it. And when they hear that, it's like it's an alert system. The female is very protective of the young, and she'll do anything to protect them.
And of course, never feed an alligator.
An alligator will lose its natural wariness of people and then begin to associate people with food, and that's when we start to have a conflict.
It's also illegal to feed gators, punishable up to 60 days in jail. Reporting in Sarasota County, Brianna Voskert, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
And they say don't feed an alligator. You shouldn't feed any wildlife because they do become used to humans, and that makes them dangerous. If you think an alligator is dangerous and posing a threat to people or pets, you can call the Florida Fish and Wildlife's Nuisance Alligator Program hotline at 866-392-4286.
All right, well, a man was put behind bars after he traveled from Ocala to Punta Gorda to meet with a 14-year-old girl. According to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, 20-year-old Trevor Spaulding met the teen on TikTok. According to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office deputies, Spaulding traveled to the home on March 26 to meet the girl, who he allegedly believed was 18 years old. Investigators also learned that Spaulding lied about his age to the victim's mom, claiming he was 16 years old. According to the report, during the March meetup, sexual relations occurred. Spaulding was arrested for lewd and lascivious battery and taken to Charlotte County Jail.
In Florida, officials busting a Home Depot theft ring that was operating in 16 different counties, including Manatee County. Half a dozen people were accused of stealing construction equipment from Home Depot stores across the state and selling them on social media. The suspects were arrested in Operation Heavy Lift. They stole over 60 pieces of equipment, and that the loss to Home Depot well over $1 million. The stolen items include utility loaders, stump grinders, trenchers, and mini excavators. To date, only 10 pieces of equipment have been recovered.
And 3 landmark Sarasota properties were recently given local historic designations. Sarasota City Commissioners have agreed to designate Sarasota Jungle Gardens, the Nate and Mural Eagle House, and the Lustron Home the honors. According to the Herald Tribune, this designation gives the property new protections. For example, several structures in Jungle Gardens can now only be demolished as a last resort. Sarasota has given many properties historic designations since the city's historic preservation program was created in the early 1980s.
And with today being Good Friday, churches on the Suncoast gathering to do the Stations of the Cross. And as part of that procession, the Stations of the Cross are walked, representing 14 denominations from all over Sarasota.
Stations of the Cross basically is taking from the Bible the crucifixion, the passion of our Lord Jesus, and breaking it up into 14 stops along the way, and we meditate, if you will, on those deep mysteries of our salvation.
And hundreds of people joined in the Stations of the Cross in downtown Sarasota, a yearly event.
All right, well, here on the Suncoast, Manatee County officials are bracing for heavier than usual beach traffic and crowds over the upcoming Easter weekend. Additional law enforcement and first responders will be stationed on Anna Maria Island to help keep all of our visitors and locals alike safe at the beach. Additional public portalets will be strategically placed near the public beaches and will be serviced daily over the weekend. Now, in addition, trash will be removed from public beach areas more frequently. As a reminder, alcohol consumption is prohibited on public beaches. Please have patience with all of your gear as you're going in and out of your cars, and be prepared to expect heavy traffic on Manatee Avenue and Cortez Avenue bridges. Oh, and just as a heads up, there will be barricades placed along Gulf Drive to prevent illegal parking.
Now it's time for our Sarasota City Report with Sarasota City Manager Marlon Brown.
The Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall recently announced its 2023-2024 season subscription series. It features the biggest Broadway series yet, with 6 Tony Award-winning shows, 7 Van Wezel premieres, and an array of masterworks in the world of music series, and a variety of specials, sure to delight fans of all ages. Headlining this season is the smash hit mega musical Hamilton. The 11-time Tony Award winner will be presented on the Van Wezel stage for 2 full weeks. This show took Broadway by storm, and we are thrilled to bring it to Sarasota for the first time. We're also thrilled to present 2 other full-week runs of Broadway hits. The 8-time Tony Award winner, including Best Musical in 2019, Hadestown, and the Tony Award winner for Best Choreography, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations. The Broadway series also includes the movie turned stage production, Pretty Woman, the musical, the superstar hit The Cher Show, the timeless story of Little Women, the fearless new musical based on Alanis Morissette's world-changing music, Jagged Little Pill, and the hilarious stage spectacle, Shrek the Musical. Patrons are now able to reserve their subscriptions for the upcoming season. Subscription packages can be reserved online at www.vanwezel.org by calling the box office at 941-263-6799 or by visiting the box office Monday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Until next time, I'm City Manager Marlon Brown. Be safe. See you at the Van Wezel.